fellas, I'm sorry to say that I absolutely love this WORX knife. It's fantastic. And, well, not only do I love this knife, and I'm thinking to myself, what should I do with this knife? Well, I just finished watching TheHossUSMC's video on his Kickstarter project. Now, the first thing I'm asking you guys to do is go to his channel, and the link is going to be below. It's actually going to be a link to the video that I am referring to, and I want you guys to share this. What this man's doing is something bigger than himself. All right, it's something that we all dream or aspire to do. All right, a lot of us wake up every day, we go to work, we come home, we kiss our kids, and we go to sleep, and we do the same thing every single day. And maybe on the weekends we'll have a barbecue, or maybe do some volunteer work. But this is something that's a really big deal. You know, this is something that, in my opinion, is, you know, if you want to get involved in politics and make a difference, or you want to get on your local school board, and or do something on YouTube that makes a difference in our community or in our government, I think that's just a really big deal. I think it's just really cool what he's doing. So not only is this going to be a knife sharpening video, because I was going to be sending this back to the company for a resharpen, because they do offer lifetime sharpening for their blades. That's another thing WORX does, which is fantastic. This knife has survived a lot. I've dropped it in the sand, I've dropped it in the dirt, and it just kicks it on out. It's just an amazing product. I cannot say enough about this knife and how pleased I am with its performance. Not only that, its steel is 154 cm. Now, I have had a few individuals say, well, it's a Tonto blade. I'm scared of Tonto blades. Well, they do have just the normal drop points if you like that. Tonto blades are famous for their strength, meaning that you can stab them into stuff and twist it back and forth, and it's going to survive that. It's got a lot more beef behind the blade. So I'm going to resharpen this, but before this video goes on too long, I just wanted to tell you guys, as a shout out for the Hoss, and go to that link just below this page right now. Click on that and check out his page. Check out this video. Subscribe. Share the video, and let's help this man out. He needs money. He needs money for travel expenses, gasoline. I just did actually a travel. I traveled through 5 states, and I'm going to tell you, in the truck that I was driving, I spent $1,200 on gasoline. That's just 4 states. I stayed in 3 hotels, and hotels aren't cheap these days. You're looking at $60 for your basic minimum hotel. You know, food, feeding yourself, there's not very many options out there, and food's expensive. Everything is expensive these days. So if you can afford it, donate towards his cause. If you can do other things, like maybe do a video, do a shout out to help support him, because the more people that see his video and help him out, there might be somebody out there that has more funds than, let's say, myself. I donated what I could, which was not very much. I donated 20 bucks. I mean, that's really all I can afford. But there might be a person out there that can afford more. I mean, if little old me can afford a $20 donation, I think that maybe somebody that's not in the military and makes more money than me could maybe donate 100. So, but if you can't donate anything, I suggest you make a video and give him a shout out. The more eyes on his channel, the more eyes on the video below is going to help his cause out. So that's my shout out for the Hoss. Let's get on with sharpening this blade. First thing I want to do is I'm going to take out a piece of paper, and I've beaten the hell out of this thing. Matter of fact, the last job I had with this is I opened up 15 bags of gravel rock with it. And as I was opening the bags of gravel rock, instead of putting this back in my pocket, I just threw it on the ground. because I wanted to see if it could survive that. Because a lot of people don't close their knife every time they're finished with it. They set it down on the deck, they drop it, they stick it in the wood, or whatever they do with it. And, you know, what happens when a little bit of dirt or mud gets into these chain links right here? Is that an issue? It wasn't. Because it's a gear right here, what I found is it just kicks it right on out. You know? So if you do happen to get some gunk right here, when you go to close it, it kicks it right on out. So it doesn't suck it in. Alright? The design is just amazing. So right now, let's see, after all the abuse, and I have not resharpened this, I have not done nothing. Okay, I've wiped it off. Okay, here I go. I wiped it off with my finger. Okay, I haven't wiped it off on my jeans. Let's see if it can still cut paper. And I'm telling you, I've been using this and carrying this. It's wonderful to carry. It looks large, but it carries like my 2550 Benchmade because it sits so perfectly in my pocket. So let's check it out. Okay, we got a little hang up there. Like I said, I've been beating on this knife. Alright, so it is still paper cut and sharp. Still paper cut and sharp. It's still digging into my nail, and that's the real way of testing your knife sharpness. Not the old hair test, which this does still cut hair. A lot of people do that. Actually, the best way to test your knife's sharpness is actually resting it on your fingernail. If it grabs, that means you have a sharp knife. So the knife is basically still sharp, but it's not sharp enough for me. Here's my DMT stone, my good old DMT stone. So we're just gonna do a couple strikes. Now when you have a Tonto blade, it makes it real easy. And I'm gonna tell you why it makes it real easy, is because all you're sharpening is this portion right here, and then later on we're gonna focus on just that tip piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the angle. And now this knife isn't very dull, so I'm going to stop right there. Okay, it just needs a few strokes. That's about it. Because remember, this is a diamond stone, alright? DMT makes stones that are absolutely awesome. And unlike your Chinese stones, where you'll be sitting here for an hour trying to get a sharp blade, DMT stone, this DMT is the name of the company. DMT. I actually have a larger kit from them, but a lot of people can't afford that kit. But anybody can afford this $35 red and blue kit you can find on Amazon or eBay or wherever you want to go. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Now, all we're going to do is, we're done with this section. We're finished. From here to here is already sharp. Okay? Because unlike a drop point where you have to really focus on getting that end, a Tonto's real easy, like I said. All you're doing is, that's it. That's it. Now with a drop point, you're going from here all the way to the end. That's where knife sharpening gets tricky. That's where you have to be careful that you're not sliding off your diamond stone and dulling your tip. Okay, so a Tonto blade's actually easier to resharpen than your typical drop point or spear point knife. So there's nothing to be scared of when it comes to Tonto blades. Nothing at all. I'll give it a little more hits on the female side. That's why I like this, the red and blue. Red and blue. Red and blue. You got your male side, you got your female side. You can get the green one if you want. You can get the whatever you want. You can get the fine grit, the ultimate hard grit. You don't need that. Just go out and get this and you'll be fine. For your average user. Now myself, I do have green stones from DMT. I also have some fine grit, ceramics, all kinds of good stuff. But that's me. You know, I mean, I've got thousands of knives, so I better. Woo, we got a storm rolling in, don't we? I can hear it. See how I'm doing this? That's enough. You'll be careful because this knife is sharp as hell and you are coming towards yourself. And it'd be very easy for me to nick my thumb, but I'm just doing nice and slow and paying attention. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. We'll do a little on the female side. That's all she needs right there. That's it. Now, a lot of times I'll finish off on a little ceramic, any type of ceramic. You can do this on the edge of your car window. Your car window is a ceramic rod. Roll your window down and slide your knife right across. That is the same thing as this. If you happen to have one of these cheap little, this one happens to be made by Case, made in the USA. This one actually works pretty good. I'll just finish off my blade like that. Alright, and then to finish her off, do ballast off if you wanted to, or you guys got a piece of leather? There you go. That's another way of getting it clean. Just sliding it across that leather like so. What that will do is polish up the whole blade. Actually, that glue still isn't coming off. Woo! Want to be careful though. It's always better to do that with a rag than your finger. Notice how that blade is starting to shine up. What I'm doing is I'm actually polishing the entire blade right now. I'm not even actually focusing on the edge. I'm making this knife better than it was when I first picked her up. It's very easy to maintain your knife. I can do this in a small conversation after a long, hard day of work. And by the way, this knife is going to the Hoss. I'm going to be sending this knife to him in the mail because I figure we all got different talents in life. I happen to have access to a lot of knives. And I figure everybody that's going cross country could utilize a nice knife, if not carry on his person or throw in his truck for those just in case moments. Who knows, this knife might save his life. Can you imagine that? The Hoss on TV going, man, yeah, this knife Doggorunning sent me, saved my life. Who knows? Traveling on this country nowadays can be dangerous. Especially down in Texas right about now. And there we go. Just get one more final strop on there. And I will still clean it off with some ballast oil. Okay, that's what you needed. Okay, so there you go. Very easy to maintain your knife. I did that in a few seconds. Like I said, glue on the blade. That's something I still need to wipe off. I should have probably done that before I started sharpening it. But like I said, this is an impromptu video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go to the link below. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to the Hoss. Woo! Man, we're doing things that are big. I'm loving life. Got my little beer here. It's actually sparkling water. I don't drink. I'm addicted to coffee and sparkling lemon water. Oh boy, in my old age I've freaking become a pansy. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy the vid. Take care.